Thank you.
Okay, and so we have Angela, John, Gabe, Larry, Sandy, and Sheila.
Recording in progress.
Is that correct?
Hmm.
Okay.
I'm sorry to interrupt. You're gonna have to turn off your laptop because we're getting feedback through it.
Right.
Right.
I just pushed leave meeting. Okay. So we have the first order of business. We don't have any guests to welcome, so it would be reading and approving the board meeting minutes from December and January. And so I made a mistake during that last email when I thought it was the January meeting minutes that didn't reflect Sandy being elevated, but it turns out it was the December meeting. And so do those meeting minutes need to be adjusted?
January needs to be adjusted because I have in my notes that there was some elevation involved and there was a motion involving, and so I changed the motion to put my name in instead. So anyway, I need to revamp those because the previous issue was who was actually moved up and who wasn't, and so I was confused about that. So anyway,
Okay.
so we need to look at December 1st, and then I'll revise. So we can probably approve December, but maybe I know I have to change January.
Okay, so my December note says Sandy and Sheila are both interested in becoming permanent board members. Several ideas were discussed. The decision was to invite Sandy into the open position for 2024. Sheila will wait to see if John vacates his position next year, then Sheila would have the option to join the board as a permanent member at that time. So that sounded like
But there was
yes.
no actual action. There was no motion. There was no, yeah.
Correct.
Okay. Okay.
If you go back and listen to the minutes, it says that you guys elevated me.
Right, and that's what my note said, and then, so I was confused.
I think in January, the discussion was, did we vote on it?
Right,
That was the question. And then I went back and watched it and we did not vote, but we did say, yeah, let's go ahead and elevate Sandy. And then exactly as the notes say, but
that's why, yeah.
do we need to vote to elevate members? Does it need an official vote per the bylaws?
I would recommend that.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
it
we should
can't
make it
hurt.
official.
Yes. All right.
Okay.
So then let's
And that's why I kind of corrected the minutes to put my name in as a second on one of the motions, because I wasn't sure if there was a voting member or not, and so I fudged it, and so I gotta go back and figure out what's going on there.
okay. So do we think the December meetings minutes are okay
I think
now?
Angela said they were correct.
All right. Do we
Yeah,
have
I
a
would
motion to approve the December meeting minutes?
I move to approve.
I second it.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded to approve the December meeting minutes. All in favor?
Point of order.
Yes.
Sheila can't make a motion.
Oh, that's right. I'm not a full
Oh,
board member.
that's right.
So I'll make the motion to approve the December 3rd, 2024 minutes.
I'll second.
All right.
All
Thanks
right.
for
It's been
that,
moved
John.
and seconded by the board members in attendance. All in favor?
Okay.
I can't see anybody or anything. So how about if I just do a roll call? John, are you in favor?
She can't see you.
Say yes, John.
Yes.
Okay.
John,
Yes.
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 Angela.
Aye.
Okay, Gabe,
Aye.
Larry,
Aye.
and Jen, aye. Okay, unanimous. It has been All are in favor of passing the December meeting minutes, unanimous. All right, let's discuss January meeting minutes.
Yeah, table those, I'll fix them.
Okay, tabled. Fall treasurer reports from Russell. Has everyone had a chance to glance at those?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay, do I have a motion to approve all of the fall treasurer reports?
I think we have to enumerate them, don't we?
I move that
Do I have to
we,
do them separately?
no, we just need to name
No.
each one.
Name each one. Yep.
each
Okay.
one, okay,
Let me go back
I move,
and find the computer.
I move that we approve the October 31st treasurer's report.
Enco, go on. November?
And December.
Okay, we want to do
And
a group all
January.
together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
I thought I heard somebody say we need to do it one at a time.
No,
Just have to enumerate them
Okay.
in one movement motion.
Okay, I'll start over with my motion. I, uh, I, uh, I put forth a motion to approve the treasurer's reports from October 31st, November 31st, December 31st, and January of 2025 treasurer's reports.
and it's actually November 30th. There's no 31st, so.
Okay? My motion's been amended.
There you go. Got it.
Gabe
You're
second.
right, it was the 30th.
Okay, so we have a motion by Larry to approve 4 treasurer reports. That would be from 2024, October, November, and December, and January of 2025. And I believe that
On
was
either.
it. Is
Um,
that correct?
Ringa.
Did we have a second?
I thought Gabe did.
I
I was
seconded.
trying to. Okay,
Mhm.
so the motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor of accepting all the treasurer reports submitted by Russell as approved?
Passed.
Well,
Approved.
okay,
Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
I think I heard everyone's voice. So motion passes to approve the fall treasurer reports. Thank you. Gabe, website and social media update.
Everything's holding steady. As we reported last month, we got the totals for the increase to the membership, or not the membership, the supporting members upped. Russell helped with that. There was a hang up in the communication. He didn't only change one of them, not both. So we got them both up and running. So we've resolved that. And everything else is going fine with the websites and Facebook group.
All is well. It's my short note. Okay, moving on. Board member decisions. So I have elevation of Sheila, but it looks like it needs to be both Sheila and Sandy officially. So do I have a motion for our alternates, Sheila Wynn and Sandy Holdner, to be moved to board member positions since we have 2 vacancies?
I so move, as you stated.
I recommend that you vote on it one at a time.
Okay, following Larry's recommendation, do we have a motion for Sandy Holdener?
I
I
motion
move
to,
that Sandy
yeah,
Holdener be elevated to a board position.
And second?
I'll
Gabe
second
seconds.
that one.
I think,
Okay, it has been moved and seconded that Sandy Holdener move from alternate to permanent board member position. All those in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
I,
Any opposed? Okay, the ayes have it. welcome Sandy to the board.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you.
Yay.
You can never, ever leave the board, Sandy. You're stuck.
I don't know. It's taken months to get on it. So.
All right, do we have a motion from a board member to elevate from alternate to permanent position? Mrs. Sheila Wynn.
Moved.
Okay, and a
Seconded.
second, please.
Second.
All right,
Second.
it has been moved and seconded to have Sheila become
Larry seconded that, John.
all those in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, the ayes have it. Welcome, Sheila, to the board that you can
Thank
never
you.
leave.
Thank you.
Never
It's
leave.
the Hotel California.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
You can always check in, but you can never leave.
Hmm.
Yay. All right. Moving right along, it looks like I have two A's when it should be an A, B, C, D. Apologies. So letter B, Sandy, do you have some information from your research for us?
I do. I went and talked to Parkland Quick Print, and last year we spent $595.71 for sending out the newsletters. That was printing and addressing and postage costs.
Hmm.
The setup was $125 for a two-sided 11 by 17 sheet, $65.78 for postage, and printing was $356.32. We printed 283 newsletters and mailed out 208. For us to do 285 3x5 postcards, it would be about $80 per printing instead of the $356 for the newsletters.
Hmm.
And then the postage would be adjusted accordingly.
Mhm.
What would you say the postcard number again, please?
It was about $80 for 285 postcards,
Okay.
Plus postage,
less postage.
which is like,
It would be probably approximately $40.
Yeah,
so
it's
maybe,
postcard postage, right? Yeah.
Correct.
so maybe like a total of 150 compared to the 592 for the newsletter ish.
Probably closer to 200 because we'd still have a setup fee.
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay.
So about a third of the price.
Okay.
That's wonderful.
That's great news.
Still,
Yeah.
it's good news, but it still doesn't cover our email and file storage costs.
Yeah,
And I did do some investigating on what it would cost to get email addresses for a geographic region. And for 1,000 emails, it's anywhere from about $200 to $350, depending on which
Okay.
company you went through.
Okay.
1,000 emails is how
Approximately
much money?
$200 to $350, depending on which company you went with.
Okay.
That'd be per 1,000. I'm not sure how many we would have in our geographic region. So
Right.
Mhm.
seems a
yeah, and
little
how narrow do you
expensive.
define that region? That's another question.
Mhm. Yeah.
Anyway,
Hmm.
it was
So
my
we
homework.
don't know exactly. So where does that leave us? Gabe, you're kind of the one that says we don't have the budget to do the email permanently, right?
Right.
So where do we kind of, where does this kind of land us? Any discussion on that?
It's just, we can't fund it. That's the thing. We have money now, but it's just going to be in the negative until it's bled through our
Mhm.
reserves. So
Yeah.
So we have to kind of do the postage, the printed now for the time being.
but we don't even have the money for that though, do we? It's
Well,
still in a hole.
yeah, I mean, I still think we are in the, I mean, but it's a cost that we've incurred every year.
Yeah,
But I think if we go from almost $600 to closer to $200 for postcards, um, that is a savings, and I think that's worth thinking about. Um,
Maybe
I
do it
mean,
for 1 or 2 years. Just the first 2 years here, trying to get everyone to do digital, and then instead of every year sending digital, just to get them to go sending a postcard so they could go see it digitally. Trying to get people to go find it on their own,
yeah,
Hmm.
and also encourage them to join the Facebook group so they can get updated when it comes
yeah,
out.
yeah. I mean, I think $200, even the $600 is pretty, it's a fairly nominal cost,
Right.
considering what you're doing, with it's really, the postage is really kind of the big part, but for $200 for getting a postcard out, I think is really reasonable, in terms of like an annual cost. I'd like to send it out to more residents than we currently do, because how many addresses was that, Sandy, was that the assumption that we'd be sending around 208 again, like we did last time?
The cost for printing was for 285. So,
200,
but yes, but
280.
sending to about 210. Yeah, 208.
Didn't it also say it was 208 though also?
That we mailed,
208 was what was mailed,
mailed.
Yeah.
285 what was printed.
That's it. Thank you.
Yeah, so if we did another distribution and mailing of another 208 postcards, it's still, I mean, I'd like it to be more than 208. I'd like to be able to send more than that.
Yeah,
I think you could almost double the amount of postcards for almost the same price as you were printing the newsletter, but that would require us to get more addresses. But
Yeah.
um, I mean, I personally, I would be willing to just pay for the postcards myself as a donation to the community association, which would be a savings, but I don't,
Yeah.
that's not necessarily a,
That's not really fair to you though, Angela.
oh, no, I'm not, oh, I'm not suggesting that, not at all. It would not be something that would be something I wouldn't mind doing at all. That'd be my contribution. So,
Could we put
Sandy,
something on the postcard that says possibly maybe if we can make enough money to do it, to be able to do it on the email account? Or is that the more expensive one?
That's the most expensive part.
I just don't get that. There's no paper. I don't know.
Well,
I
no,
don't-
it's what we're just separating two different things. Sending it out by email, no, that's not. There's no expense in that. It's the migration, because we're combining two different things. So we're trying to save some money on sending out newsletters when we can simply send it out by email. But the flip side of that is we're also trying to make some room in the budget to be able to forward email addresses that are for our
Oh,
board positions. And right now it's $72 per board member per year.
yeah.
And it might go up.
Yeah,
So I think it might be going up
yeah.
to 720 per mailbox per month per year. So whatever that mathematically works out to. So
oh,
Yeah,
that's
and even if I were to donate the $200 for postcards, that doesn't cover the cost of the emails.
no way.
yeah, to send
Wow.
out to mass email to our mailing list that we already have of 195 some odd addresses. Um,
Mhm.
we can send it out. We've already got that set up. It's just send it out through MailChimp. It's free.
okay, Sandy.
Since we have a relationship with the Mid-County Community Center, are we able to piggyback on a mailing address that they have or a address list that they have to send out information? Because they probably have a lot bigger membership group than we do to be able
That's
to
a
send
great
out
question.
postcards to them.
Mm.
I would think they probably would say no, but they would allow us to give out the postcards or
Yeah.
probably
Or
give
be able to
out
be
the
included in
postcard.
their newsletter.
Hmm. They might include a blurb in their newsletter saying that, if we ask them to include something, they might
Just
go
a
that
thought to be able to
direction.
expand our audience.
It'd be
Mhm.
kind of an in-kind mention because we also give them pretty good space on our newsletter every year too.
I could ask.
Plus we donate money to them every year. Uh, I would think that they would be apt to be a little cooperative in putting something in their newsletter, announcing uh, announcements of ours, like for our general membership meeting.
Mhm.
And the other one might be the Grange, is if they would some way to get out more information about our organization to the Grange.
Mhm.
Can do that.
Okay, if one of those organizations asked us to do the same, how would we respond?
Hmm.
We already do we already do the Mid-County Community Center in our newsletter, so it would just be a reciprocal type of mention
Mhm.
to us,
And we've done that with the Grange too.
But
They've
for
been in our
clarification,
newsletter before.
are we asking for their email addresses?
No, no,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
yeah, if we're actually asking for the list, I'm pretty sure the answer would be no, and I would say our answer should be no as well, because we asked for specific
Right.
reasons to do certain communications.
That's what I thought the
Yeah.
question was.
Okay.
No, I
I-
meant,
That
could
was
we
the
hand
yeah.
our stuff to them and ask them to mail them out with using their address, not them giving us their address list.
Oh, okay, okay.
Mhm.
I see the difference right now. I didn't get that the first
So,
time.
so if you're asking for us to mail something out, as far as the Grange is concerned, the only place that mails anything out is the state.
Oh,
And they are a large organization, and getting anything to be printed, even for your own Grange, is limited. So printing anything for any other organization through the state would be tough.
Mm.
So what we do is we have a Facebook account, but we really don't do any mailings. So I don't know how we would help you with that. I mean, I'm interested in any ideas.
maybe just a mention on the Facebook page, hey, if SWCA
Okay.
is out there type of thing. We'd have to come up with the wordage, of course, but
Okay. Well, if you could provide something like that, I'm sure that I could bring it to our group of executive committee members and everyone who votes and all the folks in there and ask if we could go ahead and do that.
I'm
Yeah, I
actually
know.
supposed to see Bunny tomorrow, for
Yeah,
business
yeah, we
for
have a
computer
meeting
support.
next. We have a meeting next week. So
Okay, so
if
I was going to ask her
you have
tomorrow
something,
if you want.
yeah,
Uh,
if you have something prepared, send it to me.
no, I mean for Bunny, I can ask Bunny tomorrow, is what I'm saying, at
Oh,
the community center
oh,
to see
okay,
for that side of things. And if you
okay,
wanted to ask if just a mention, right? Because
yeah, yeah,
We have the Waller Grange people on the Facebook group, and they always announce stuff going out the Grange. Now, by all means, have
okay,
at it.
okay, all right.
Also in the past, just to let you know, Sheila, on our what we used to do is every month on our Facebook page, we'd say, okay, here's the next upcoming monthly meeting, here's what's on the agenda, or here's a monthly list of events happening in your area, and we'd always include Grange stuff on there, whether it was your regular monthly meetings or whatnot. I've gotten away from that just because of the time that it takes, and instead I
Right.
do the automated message that comes up every month in our Facebook group instead. But
Mhm.
we could reinvigorate that type of thing again. But that's what we've done in the past is just kind of help promote one another's events that are coming up in meetings and annual meetings, litter pickups, events, that sort of thing. So
Okay. Well,
it's a
just basically work
reciprocal
more,
promotion of one
right?
another's organizations.
And then possibly even work more cooperatively with each other as well.
Okay. So Gabe, I have down that Gabe is going to talk to Bunny. Okay. And we're looking at doing postcards. When do we want to make a final decision?
I think we should pretty soon because if we want to mail those out in April, that means we have to have the online newsletter done and posted on our website and on our Facebook page so people can be directed to that.
How much warning do they need? print our stuff out. It's not like it's a big batch or anything. You know, does anybody know?
I'm not sure. John's cat's running the meeting.
Okay, yeah, let me mute.
I was
Yeah.
wondering if it was a baby, and couldn't think of who had a baby at their house right
Actually,
now.
a stray cat that Sue has, it got in a big fight and Sue is nurturing it, but it's very
Oh,
talkative.
Hmm.
So we got to kick it out as quick as possible because we're going to adopt. Sue's sister died 2 days ago, and we're going to adopt that cat. So we can't have. Yeah. Anyway, this is a side note.
So sorry, Sandy, did you mention that there was a time frame that they needed these things by, or would you have talked about the
Did
costs,
not.
or
I didn't ask him that question.
do we know how long it took prior years, how much time they needed in advance?
No, but
It
I'm
wasn't.
happy to call them and ask them tomorrow.
No, I sort of remember it wasn't much time. The last newsletter that we did, we finished it rather late and they got it out really quick for us. So
Couple of weeks.
I think within 2 weeks it was done and delivered.
So why don't you set up something like 4 weeks in advance and another week to kind of get the overall approval for the design and stuff and then get it in? Or do you want to have more time frame, like 5 weeks? So you get it in a little early.
I think my question would be who is going to do the postcard this year?
Ah. Phew.
The newsletter or the postcard?
The postcard.
I'm
Okay,
happy to work with Parkland Quick and Gabe. I think both of
yeah,
us,
we'll make sure
between the two of us.
we can get a QR code and some some verbiage to to convey what we're trying to get people on. Short is going to be better. Less is more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. By next meeting, I'm going to play around with, if you remember from the last meeting, I brought up that s'more newsletter and you had looked at it and said it's for educators only. I went online and clicked a bunch of boxes and it said that an educator could use it for a non-educational purpose. It was several screens into it. And then I never got back to it. But there's a possibility that we could use that s'more format for a newsletter. So let me make that my homework and I'll get back to you as to whether that might be a possibility for us. It's a possibility, not the possibility.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Don't want you getting in trouble for using work provided tools. Yeah.
It said that there was a provision for us to use it outside of work. So that's what I want to explore. I just didn't really have the time to do it between last meeting and this one. But it might be a really workable option. So I'd like to at least look at it and report back.
I guess that's the difference between a school district and a government agency, because that would be a major conflict of interest for a
Yeah.
Oh,
government
totally.
agency.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I know.
It says for educators' use, and then it says for school or outside of school. And so I clicked outside of school. But then that was all, as far as I got. I just didn't get any further. So, shall we move on?
Yes.
Okay. PSD bond election. Larry, Sandy, who wants to start?
Hey, can I step back for a second? What are the actual action items we're going to have on the last? Who's going to do what?
So Gabe was going to talk to Bunny about whether we can have something mailed to their mailing list promoting our newsletter. That was one action item. And then I'm going to look to see whether we can use S'more as a newsletter
Got that.
template. And then Gabe and Sam, that was another action item. And then my third one that I thought that I understood was that Gabe and Sandy would work together to format a postcard with Parkland Quick Print. Did I understand that correctly?
Yeah, I believe so. Yes, Ann.
Okay, got it. That's
Okay.
that's what I.
And then we'll make a decision next month, ideally. Okay, so letter C, PSD bond election.
Well, there's an $800 million bond issue in front of the voters in the Puyallup School District, which we share, the Summer Community Association, or the Summer community is in both the Franklin Pierce School District and the Puyallup School District. Puyallup School District is one of the top 10 biggest school districts in the state of Washington, whereas Franklin Pierce School District is not. When Franklin Pierce School District had its capital levy, we were involved with that. We did not promote it officially, but we had people involved, like myself, sitting on committees to come up with the capital levy amount. So we're happy to participate. With the Puyallup School District in the past, we have participated in activities with the Puyallup School District. Of course, that was several years ago. Like phone calling and stuff like that. I think Angela's right. I don't think we've ever officially endorsed a bond or a levy, but since we are a civic organization, we should be encouraging people to vote on the school levy or school bond issue. Now, the one thing that's of great interest for our community association is that part of the bond, of course, you have to understand, they're going to try, a big school district like Puyallup is going to try and have something good going in this bond for various geographical areas of the school district. About 15 years ago, the Waller Road School replacement was on a bond, which did not pass. So here we are again with a second attempt to replace the aging, falling apart Waller Road School. That's too close to Waller Road. Parking's atrocious. Stuff inside the school is well beyond its life expectancy. The school, anybody who walked into the school could readily see that it's due for a replacement. The replacement appears to be a single-story building, and the main entrance will be on 64th Street. So there's a map that you can go to on their website, puyallupsd.org/bond, and they got all kinds of videos. You can go directly to the Waller Road part of the bond issue and check that out. So here's a second attempt by the Puyallup School District to replace the aging Waller Road School, a couple other schools, build a brand new elementary school way out in the southeast section of the district, plus expansion of the 3 high schools because they're beyond capacity.
Yeah.
So, it looks like it's time. I'm hoping that people will support it, but I think I would move that we encourage on our website and on our Facebook page that we encourage people to vote on the school bond issue and to put down the website that they can go to that was given to us by the Puyallup School District.
I just posted a link to it in our chat.
Is that a motion or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a motion.
Encourage people to vote on the issue And
To freeze that, John, it would be, I move that the Summer Waller Community Association encourage people in the Puyallup School District to vote on the $800 million bond issue before voters on February the 11th.
okay.
Wish we could choose which school district we could vote for.
Yeah, Sandy, myself, Gabe, Sheila,
Yeah.
and Dan Hare can vote on that bond issue.
No, I'm Franklin Pierce, unfortunately.
I can vote on it.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jen, you as well. Yeah, it's Sandy, Angela, John,
Russell.
No, I
and
can't vote.
Russell.
John, not John.
Franklin Pierce.
Sheila,
Before
Yeah.
Jen interrupted me,
Sheila, Gabe, Larry, me,
Sandy,
Dan.
Angela, John, and
Not
Russell
Angela
cannot
either.
vote. What's
Yeah.
that?
Oh, I thought you were
Myself,
saying Angela
Jen.
could vote on it.
No.
No, she
No, I
can't.
can't either.
It's Gabe,
Okay,
Sheila, you, me, and Dan.
Yep.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter
that's
who.
right.
Okay. There's a motion. Is there a
Half of us
second?
can
So,
vote on
but you're
it.
saying encourage. But what does that mean?
Well, you're encouraging people, as a civic organization, we're encouraging people to vote.
through what way? I mean, that's what I'm asking. It's not,
I don't
Well,
think
it's all a
we're-
mail-in
walk down the
vote.
street with a bullhorn, or that's what I'm trying to say. What method are we encouraging people to do so? That
with their
Are we
ballot.
going to, are we
Oh,
going
I
to
see.
put
Okay.
something? Are
Because
we
I'll
going
make a
to
motion to
put
vote.
something on Facebook?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't post any political things because it just blows up whole groups. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping we weren't going to do that, but
Yeah, we already had to take down somebody individually posting it. Yeah.
okay.
Because they were encouraging you to vote for it.
Oh,
And it was like, so we're not taking a position to vote for
So-
or against
so
something.
could you put a
So-
reminder in Facebook that says the bond is up for vote? Isn't it the 11th it has to be in?
Yeah, it's a week
Correct.
from today.
So we could remind people. We don't have to say one way or the other. Wouldn't that be a nice public service?
Yeah, that was my motion. I didn't,
Oh.
in my motion, there was nothing about voting yes on the bond.
Right. Okay.
Am I allowed to second motions? I have no idea.
You
Yeah.
can.
Yes.
Okay,
Well, why
I'll
wouldn't
second
you?
Larry's motion.
All right.
Okay, Perez, let's get to a vote.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we encourage people to send in their ballot.
Yeah.
It doesn't say that.
That
He
is-
just said to vote.
Right.
I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah, John can read back the motion if you would like.
Encourage people to vote on the $800 million bond issue on February 11th. That was his words.
okay. So it's been moved and seconded. As John said, since I don't have it in front of me, I'll just refer, it's being videotaped. All those in favor of passing this motion?
Signify
I
by
can't see.
saying aye.
Okay, I see Larry's hand, I see
Aye.
Sandy's hand, I see Sheila's, I don't see it. Okay, so I have 4, my hand. Oh, John, Angela, did you say yes? Nope. Okay, and Gabe.
I'm a no.
Okay, so we
Okay.
have,
It didn't
I
pass.
don't understand. What's the problem?
Well, I think if I'm going to, so there's a difference between encouraging people to vote, just to go out and vote.
Right.
Yeah.
And encouraging people to vote for or
Right.
against something. And so I think I feel like this is a very slippery slope, Larry, in terms of us advocating for a political position or a candidate or a bond or a levy. And that's not what we have done in the past, especially on our Facebook page in terms of that outreach. And one of our group rules is that we stay out of partisan politics. We're not advocating for candidates. People aren't allowed to promote candidates on the Facebook group. And I just feel like this is kind of a slippery slope for that. That's the only reason why I feel like that I'm not voting in support of it.
And that's my same
Well, I
reasoning
would
too.
say that
Even if it's,
I
even if it's
I
worded,
specifically worded my motion
yeah,
so as not to encourage people to vote in favor of it, just to vote on the issue, because you have to have a certain number of votes total in order to validate an election. So I don't see that as a slippery slope at all. It would be a slippery slope if we put on our Facebook page that the Summit Water Community Association Board of Directors encourages citizens in the Puyallup School District to vote in favor of this bond issue. That would be the slippery slope.
yes.
What I propose is not a slippery slope.
Some
How about-
people would say
We
also
are
that
simply
a no vote, non-voting is like a double vote. And there's a thing there for people that don't vote at all on these kind of issues. Yeah.
Huh.
Okay, well, the motion fails.
Okay.
And we will move on. We have a new councilman. Brian Yamby has been appointed as
Could you spell
our
that?
new councilman.
Spell that last name.
Yeah.
It is Yambe.
Okay, I needed that for my last month's minutes. Yeah.
Y-A-N.
Okay, and he spells Brian with a Y as well, so
Okay.
it's a double Y.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Do we know anything about him?
He
Yeah.
was involved with the city council in Fife,
mm,
and he's been doing civic work for a long time. They actually didn't vote for him at first. It looked like the council was arguing and over candidates, and then they were encouraged to choose somebody, and so they did vote him in. I wrote him a welcoming letter. I told him a little bit about us, and I invited him to our meetings, and I have had not a single response.
weird.
Nothing. So I was thinking I would resend it. I had a secretary or a council assistant pointed to him. Sabrina, who worked
In and out, Jen. We're losing you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
for Marty is going to work for somebody else on the council. So she once Marty left, she was a
And timeout. You're cutting in and out.
Yeah. I only heard like 2 words of that last statement, Jen.
You cut in and out for the whole 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, so I spoke for 2 minutes and no one could hear me. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Sorry. And then I cut out altogether with the phone. Okay, so the bottom line is he doesn't have a council assistant yet. I don't know if that's his excuse for not answering emails, but I did write him a welcoming email telling Councilman Yamby about us and inviting him to any meetings. I will try again this week, maybe this week or next. I'll send another letter. I'll reach out again. I'm a little surprised he didn't respond, but then again, since he doesn't have an assistant, maybe that's his reasoning.
Mhm. You know, it's possible, even with something like that, where he may not even be, sometimes, I hate to say this, but I'm kind of technically challenged. And sometimes people are technically challenged and really don't get their act together at first. And I'm just wondering if maybe since he doesn't have an assistant, he might not be responding to anybody.
Mm. And that's what I'm hoping to assume.
Right?
Was still getting his bearings too with the council and trying to
Do
figure
you
out who's who and what's what.
do you
So
know anything about him, Jen? I thought somebody asked that question. I didn't hear.
He was on Fife City Council for quite a few years,
Okay.
and he's been doing this for a while.
Okay.
I actually heard that they didn't vote him in at first. They had three candidates and they couldn't come to an agreement. I kind of wish I could know. Maybe it's in the transcripts or if you wanted to dig through the paperwork in Pierce County, maybe we could find that out. But I don't know
Maybe.
if it was a like an executive session or if it was an open, if the meeting notes are available or not.
I could
Uh,
I mean, are you asking me if you want me to snoop around and see if we can find information on it?
Hey, anyone with some extra time who wants to snoop, I'd love to have extra information. I'm kind of
Okay.
curious as to why they weren't not in agreement, but again, even with 2 snow days in a row, I haven't had the time to
That's okay.
do or do practice newsletters on s'more or anything else.
Okay. I can snoop around. I could probably find somebody who knows him. Somebody who knows somebody who knows him.
Okay.
And then
All
maybe
right.
that would find out some actual like documentation or something.
It would, I don't know. I just think it'd be interesting to know, but
It would be. I mean, for like example, if you Google yourself, you'll find things on yourself. So if I Google them the right way, I might get some stuff.
I know that the council
maybe.
sessions are all recorded, so you can go back and watch those. But
That
if they went into executive session, that wouldn't be available. But I don't recall. I remember it being a little controversial because it took them a few votes and iterations to agree to nominating Brian. So I don't know
Hmm.
what the backstory is, on what all the discussions were outside of the council meeting, but I don't know.
and he was on Fife City Council, is that right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right. It's just kind of nice to get a little information about him so we can remember who he is and where his particular expertise is at. That's important.
I have a back door that I can maybe use to get a little information as well, but
Okay.
that'll take a little time. So
That's all right.
uh, let's move to area concerns and monitoring. So litter issue update. Does anyone have anything? The tribe did clean up after, I don't know. They got it cleaned up. I think at the time of our meeting it was still messy up there, but it's been cleaned up now. Although the neighborhood isn't cleaned up, so their property is nice and tidy, but the neighborhood and the ditches and such, I still see a lot of junk in there, and that's around Vickery area. In fact, I feel like Vickery is the most littered in all the years I've been jogging up and down. This is the worst it's ever been.
Mhm. Now, are
I
you
bet.
asking? Okay.
So I'm just saying that I haven't noticed other than the tribe cleaning up after the New Year's Eve festivities and such. The neighborhood's still trashy. Other areas, I don't know. I don't know what you've seen or whether things have been cleaned up since our last meeting or not.
I
I
do have
was
an
Don't know
update.
about that.
I
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just in Olympia today and drove back on Pioneer Way back towards um, Waller.
Mhm.
And along probably 60% of it from Shell Station, along there are bags that have been bagged up, but it looks like they only got so far. And then there's the area just before, what is that, Brown Road or whatever that comes down the
Brownie.
Browning that comes
Mhm.
down. So somewhat before that towards the Shell Station, it's still really littered and stuff. So it looks like they got part way, but didn't get it all done. And I don't know who did it.
Yeah, I saw a crew out there. It was City of Tacoma, and I think they probably went up to their border is what ended up happening.
Okay.
Yeah,
Ah.
they just go to the border.
But you know,
Mhm.
if they went after their border, doesn't the border go all the way to Swan Creek?
I don't know
'Cause
exactly where that cutoff is.
that's where the
Pulled up on map.
pavement changes. So you know whether it's Pierce County or Tacoma.
I'll tell
Yeah,
you.
I actually saw the crew doing the work, but they were further towards River Road, the
Oh,
gas station there, than they
oh
were
yeah,
towards the
yeah.
clay art place.
So I would say about 60% of it from the Shell Station onwards
Yeah, it's looking a
toward
lot better.
Browning is cleaned up, but not all of the area below Browning. And I
Yeah,
don't know how dirty it is near the Clay Art Station or Center. I didn't see that.
Sheila, you're right. The boundary is just before Swan Creek
Yep.
wetland. Yeah,
Mhm.
so
Yeah.
it's a little bit before the clay arts. Yeah.
Yeah, the
So
line I show is right at the intersection of Pioneer and Browning.
yeah. Yeah. The other thing too I noticed is one of the homeless encampments or will look like it had been cleaned out too, or they were in the process of evicting, but there's two parcels along there. One's owned by BNSF, the other one's owned by Port of Tacoma. And so I actually think Dan's letter that we sent prompted that eviction, which I thought was good. And then we've seen some cleanup, which is good too. So I do know too, I wanted to mention, I saw the unincorporated Pierce County has that vacuum litter truck and it was on 104th the other day and I happened to see it in action and I was very
Oh.
excited. But I don't know what they're, and I can ask if you guys want. I'm not sure how they plan where they pick up trash, if it's based on a report or if it's an annual route that they run. I can maybe inquire to see what that entails, but I do know on their website that you can make a complaint or you can report, um, you can actually report roadside litter and they'll make it out to that spot and pick up stuff, which, Larry's done 100 times for Orange Gate Park, and I've done lots of times on 104th. But I could maybe find out more information as to how they go about prioritizing some of those routes, and if Vickery is one of those spots that needs some attention, maybe I can fill out an online form and have them come out there. So I'll do
Victory
that.
definitely does, especially now that in the last 6 months, the traffic is either tripled or quadrupled going down Victory in the evenings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's backed up for blocks from 4 o'clock on.
Yeah.
Hmm.
What was the change that caused that?
We have no idea.
Really?
Yeah, we can't get to our road after 4 o'clock now. We have to,
So
unless you want to sit and wait for several cars to go through the stop sign.
is there work going on Canyon that
No,
would prompt that?
no.
I don't know.
And whoever
Yeah.
talked to Franklin Pierce about changing 96th in the Waller, thank you. It's much better than it was.
What do
And
you
they
mean?
added the concrete blocks in there.
Oh.
Who
It's
asked
funny
that?
because I got a lot of complaints actually when
Well, they moved
as
them
you
back
as you
now.
saw on Facebook. Oh, you're talking about they moved it back. Yeah.
Yeah, after they revised it.
Yeah. Got so much heat. I got so much flack. Obviously, somebody called the right person at the county and they came out and looked at it, but
Hmm.
Hmm. Uh, have you all noticed that they did up a lot more of the electrical boxes in the area?
No.
Yeah,
Hmm.
there's a lot more done. There's one on 72nd and Waller that's done now.
you mean, are you
Oh,
talking about
you
the wraps on the utility
The
boxes?
wraps.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
okay,
Hmm.
okay.
yes.
Yeah, start looking around because they've
Yeah.
been working in our area and there's a lot more of them that are actually done and they look nice and they're
Good.
fun. Yeah, I was really happy to see that. Let's see. Is there anything for the comp plan or Orange Gate? Because nobody had commented, so if there's nothing, we can move over those and head to 64th and Waller. Okay, then Sheila, you had
Yeah.
something for the future of safety access trail that you
Uh,
mentioned you would talk about.
um, well, uh, one of the things that I wanted to remind folks was that it was a unanimous decision to bring the speed down on 64th to 30th. I was there for did you guys know I was there for the meeting? And
Right.
and they unanimously voted. It was their last vote of the year, and they were all excited because they could unanimously agree that 35 miles per hour, matching the Tacoma, not 30 miles per hour, matching the Tacoma speed would be the best thing to do. So, but I did mention to them after asking that I would probably be back asking about other traffic stuff. So I didn't specifically say anything about 64th and Waller. I didn't know that I was supposed to.
Oh no, I
Necessarily.
thought I guess I misunderstood. I thought that since that one was designated like working toward the future of active transportation, safety to access the pipeline trail, I thought that's what you were mentioning, but no, you were talking about the previous agenda
Yeah,
item.
I
Okay,
was.
I'm
I
sorry,
was.
then I misunderstood.
That's okay. That's all
All
right.
right, I'm just gonna cross your name off of that. I think that now that we have a new council person and that Waller Road School is going, hopefully, maybe might get remodeled, that
Yeah.
those things will come into play when we start bringing that topic up.
Did you?
Uh,
I was at a meeting at Waller Road Elementary for the garden club, and there was some chit chat about how long. And someone had said they had spoken to the superintendent about it, and he was non-committal about how long it would take to replace Waller Road and all these things that have to be done prior to even, you know, breaking ground. So I would say, based upon that conversation, we could be looking at 5 to 10 years before Waller Road is, there's new construction there. Of course, there's concern about the parking and access there. I mean, yours truly got hit there with some lady coming out, turning left out of that parking lot, and people were letting her, come through, and she couldn't see, and she T-boned me.
Mhm.
So I think
Mhm.
that there's definitely uh, some definite need, but I think what's going to happen is anything that we want to do over there, and then we were talking about that, is that they're going to put everything off until they've got, you know, plans. They're putting together plans, and we'll just have to be watching them to make sure we get to comment and see if we can get sidewalks along there and access
Mhm.
to that
well,
pipeline
I'm
trail.
when Larry was saying to the address to go to the Puyallup School District Capital Bond
Yeah,
Project, It
Yeah.
shows a picture of the new Waller Road, and it looks like that there will be parking and a drop-off lane, and then a grassy area before you get to the street. So it's possible that they could put some sidewalks in if
Yeah.
kids might be utilizing them to walk to school.
Yes.
I think this would be a really good chance for us to jump in and start advocating for safety for people who bike and walk in that area.
Just so
Um,
you know, too, the Grange is putting together, Waller Road Grange is putting together a request that the flashing light is no longer a four-way flashing light, that it's actual stoplight. Because they think it's a
oh,
safety issue for the kids crossing the streets and stuff. And if you talk to the crossing guards, I mean, they have a heck of a time keeping people from running over the kids. Because
mm,
there's nothing there to slow them down. I can't tell you how many times the school district just told me they were going to put one of those signs, those flashing signs, and
mm-hmm.
for to slow them down when children are present. I got told that so many times. I was told for sure that was going to happen 2 years ago by the superintendent's office, and nothing.
Yeah,
Again,
that's done. Yeah, because a lot of the safe routes to schools, stuff like the signage and sidewalks is done by the county, Office of the County
well,
Engineer. So
yeah, well,
so if it's
I
not
knew this.
programmed, then
I knew
it
this,
takes
and
a while.
I talked to somebody in the know, and they said that the school district had told them they were handling it. They would pay for
Oh.
it, and it could go through the county. And so
Mm,
I confirmed
mm.
that with the school district. Oh yeah, we're going to do it. Yeah, this is the year. That was last year. So
I do think Sheila, like at Central Avenue, I mean, only because that's the closest example that I've seen personally is, they did put in sidewalks and the speed
yeah,
limit signs and the crosswalks and street
yep,
lighting and all that as part of the school project only, though within the school's footprint, they didn't go beyond that. But I do think if Waller Road does the same thing, if they want to improve, the corner that surrounds their school, that does lay the framework for then the county coming back and adding to that. So I think that'll be good.
I certainly hope so. I mean, I kind of feel like, I don't know, I just feel, I hate to say this, but I kind of feel like Waller Road is like last on their list to think about because it's so far gone. And, they're busy thinking about what's kind of like in there, so close and in,
Mhm.
and, and Waller's small. And so I think that it would be nice if we could advocate for Waller too, so that there's many voices.
Yeah.
I'm going to age myself, but I went to Waller Road School over 50 years ago and it was old back then.
Right? Right.
I mean, it's one of the oldest schools in the county.
What year did you go there?
Well, I graduated in 83, so I went to Waller Road until 77. So
Did
71
you
to
go to,
77.
wait, did you go to school with
You're a
Dan?
punk.
No, he's way older than me.
No?
He is old, way older than Sandy.
He's like 10 plus years older than me.
All right. I'm not all the way awake right now. It's past my bedtime. I just know my mom and my aunt went and uncles went to Waller Road School, and Dan went to school with one of my aunts,
Okay.
which he likes to bring up now and then with his trivia. He loves his area trivia.
Some of Waller trivia. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And who hung out at what stomping grounds, and yeah, that's Dan loves to do that. Okay, so are there any news and announcements? And if not,
Hey, I have something just before we adjourn.
Mhm.
yes.
So I'm still trying to clarify. I have on here that Sheila seconded a motion in the minutes, and she was apparently not elevated, although we talked about elevating her in the last meeting. So we didn't elevate anybody until this meeting. So I was going to put my name in there. So what should we reflect in the minutes here?
Well, what was the motion?
The motion, that's okay. Let me go look at it.
Because I think Sheila motioned and then Larry called a point of order and said that Sheila could not. And then someone else ended up doing the motion and seconding it, but I can't remember who it was now.
Oh, it was for this
Oh,
meeting
okay.
or for a previous meeting?
No, in this meeting earlier.
No, I'm talking about January. Here, let me
Yeah.
just
Oh,
look
in
this up.
January?
Yes, okay, this was Dan Hare to approve retaining the existing board members. And it was, yeah, so I put my name in there because I'm willing to second that motion, but it wasn't me who actually seconded it. And
Sorry about
Can we
that.
put
I
it,
mean, so did we actually elevate her as a voting member temporarily? I don't remember doing that. No.
No,
Nope. Nope.
Sheila was not at the January meeting.
So it's Sandy then? No, okay, wait a second.
Nope.
I have on the attendance Sandy. Okay, it was Sandy then. Sandy did it.
Because I thought I was a voting member.
Yeah, we thought you were too.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's fine. Wait, I mean, it happens.
So can you just write that we amended the minutes to have you as the second instead of Sandy, and that
yeah,
it was
I'll put that in there. Okay,
and we
Got it.
discussed it tonight. Okay.
got it. Okay, I'll do that. I just want to be clear so that we don't have, since it's being recorded, I didn't want to like some wacko calling us like, are you guys crazy?
If they even noticed.
If they even notice it, I notice
one
it
person
because
that watches
people
them
call
all
me on
through.
little stuff. So.
Yes. There's
Got
always
it,
that one
okay.
person who watches one neighborhood person who watches every move we make and makes sure that if he audits us and
Hey,
makes
keeps us
sure we're
honest.
Gabe's gonna
on
want
Appreciate
to
up.
that.
move. I know Gabe's gonna want to move to adjourn. Is that right?
How'd you
Actually,
guess?
before we do that,
Okay.
can I say something really quick? So I noticed that Larry left the meeting after the motion didn't pass about promoting to vote for the school bond. School issues are very near and dear to Larry's heart, which I totally appreciate, or absolutely appreciate his advocacy for all the school related issues that he has done. And I know he was probably PO'd that Gabe and I did not vote for that. I did want to just to provide a little bit more context that probably didn't get brought up in the discussion about that. And Larry not being Larry not participating in a lot of online forums, especially Facebook, I don't think has the real understanding and the breadth of experience that Gabe and I have in terms of dealing with anything that has a whiff of being political. And I'm not suggesting that Summit Waller not support people going out and voting for a bond, pro or con. That is not what I was trying to that wasn't my intention. My intention was Gabe and I spent our personal time volunteering to moderate the Summit Waller Community Association Facebook, and I'm going to speak for you, Gabe, because we get really tired of people's BS when they sense a whiff of politicalness and they want to go off on each other and say, oh, teachers this and schools that and agenda this and Republican that and Democrat this. And while it might seem as a very innocuous, mundane kind of topic, it's not. And especially in the social media realm. And I don't know that Gabe and I were able to really express that in the the meeting minutes and kind of why we voted no. So I just wanted to provide that context. And I'm upset. I'm sad that Larry left the meeting upset, and so I'll probably try to follow up with him offline. But I just wanted to give you all that context from the perspective of being the Facebook page moderator, one of the moderators. It's tough. I mean, it's tough. So
Just one thing I'll add
Thank
to
you.
that. If it's the public that votes for it, it's better for us not to mention it for the reasons that Angela was talking about. It could be a hellstorm just saying vote now.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
if just merely saying go out and vote on this issue, some people might take it that you're supporting it, or some people might think you're
yep,
not supporting it. So
yep.
when it comes, the difference is if when we're trying to encourage council members to vote, we're not voting on that as individuals. We're trying to encourage them to do something for our community in favor for our community. But it's not, if people have something against that, they take it up with their council people. But that's where that difference is for at least for me, what goes up and what doesn't.
Interesting. Okay,
Now,
well,
for national voting, when you do federal elections, yeah, get out and vote. That's fine. Just say go out and vote. Cool.
No, I'm pretty sympathetic to those because I'm uncomfortable also with staunch advocacy of schools just because we have a couple of people in the schools, and I'm a taxpayer. So it's like, yeah, we need new schools and all of that, but is the money being well spent and all that? I mean, people have different opinions. So yeah, we should, steer clear of that a little bit, I think. So yeah.
Yeah.
are
Just as a
we done
follow-up,
I'm sorry, are we done being recorded, Gabe?
No,
No. Could we end the meeting and then finish this conversation? Would that be okay?
I'm fine with that.
We
Okay.
need a
Could I
motion
have
to
a
adjourn. Well, no, I don't know if we do or not. I don't care.
Okay,
I have
John's
one.
motion to adjourn.
Can I ask one question that
On
I
record?
have on my list of things that I was wanting to cover tonight? That was kind of a
Oh,
new thing.
Oh,
okay. So
Um, I
okay.
just I just want folks to know that I've been getting in my Facebook post because I follow the county comprehensive plan stuff, that they're wanting people to come in, like literally people, everyday people to come in and comment on the ADA stuff for Pierce County for sidewalks and ADA access and stuff. So if you're getting that or you're seeing that or you want to participate in that, check out the Pierce County ADA stuff and see if you can comment, because I think the comment period is going to be over by the 21st or 22nd of February, if I've got that right.
could you post a link to that in the Facebook group? That would probably be helpful
Yeah.
too.
Oh, okay, I
Could you
could do that.
send us a link to a reminder link?
Yeah, I will do that. I'll fish through my stuff and go ahead and post that.
All right. Was there
just generally
anything else?
before we cut off the recording, we all need to be reminded that we have to respect people's opinions, whether we agree with it or not. I mean, we are all individuals and we all have a right to vote how we choose to vote. And hopefully people don't take that too personally.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sandy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think that we're doing, a good job following the norms that we set up that I have on our agenda, that we are keeping each other, that we're keeping each other in check and we're being polite and we're listening well. Keeping emotions in check is still hard, I think. Like you said, it was an issue that is near and dear to Larry. So, but I appreciate that you said you were going to reach out and try to give him some understanding.
Yeah.
I think that would help. I think it would help
Yeah.
because we do
Yeah.
have a good relationship with each other. So I think
Yeah.
once he cools down a little bit and then hears from you, that'll go a long way.
I hope so. Yeah, I don't want him to, that's nothing personal. It's not anti-school. It's not anti-teacher, which I know, I know that's how he probably took it, but it's definitely, he's not on Facebook. He has no context as to the brutality and the, just the It's like
It's vicious.
it's vicious, and he just not doesn't understand that. And we've posted stuff on there before, or other people have posted things about, oh hey, go ahead and fill out the survey that Pierce County wants you to do, and people are just like, ah, just like verbal diarrhea, and then people start going at each other's throats, and it's like simple stuff, but and I know that, in Larry's mind it's very simple. It's like, oh well, I'm just encouraging you to vote. Like it's neutral. It's actually not neutral. It's not really an issue that's neutral anymore. So, um, and
Well,
I don't have the time and energy and space to really deal with moderating that, and neither does Gabe. We have other things to do with our lives and we have full-time jobs. So unless somebody else wants to moderate that, that's fine. But
could,
that's why we have the group rules set the way they are.
could we
Yeah.
post something like that and turn off the comments?
That's
Just
what I do when
post
I
Yeah,
post it. Yeah.
you can.
and then no one can comment. But I'm kind of still sitting on the fence on this one because I've been involved with the League of Women Voters, and I've gone out to register voters and and one of the things that we want to do is encourage people to vote. That is
Done
our
that. Yep.
democratic right. And I think it, I think it could be done in such a way that we just say, hey, there's a bond vote going on for the Puyallup School District. Here's the link
Mhm.
for the information, and there will be no comments taken. And just turn the comments off. But at
If it,
least we're saying, look, there's a lot of people I think that got their uh, bond vote thing in the mail a while back and they've forgotten. I don't think it's terrible to remind people of their civic duty. I
And
guess I'm Team Larry.
yeah,
right.
I mean, and we have hosted candidate forums in the past. Of course, we've remained very neutral and said,
Right.
we're not
And
advocating
as
for
we
anyone or
should.
anything. We have done that in the past, but we have not specifically promoted either way bonds or levies or initiatives or firing, because and that's what I meant by slippery
Yeah.
slope. It's like, oh, we'll go out and vote for this fire initiative and this school bond and then this Pierce County tax increase, or the flood control zone district's got a bond in place
But
now, and this,
we're not
you know
saying vote for it.
no, I know,
We're saying
right. But then
there
but I feel
is
like it could be a
there
slippery slope for us to do that for all of those types of things, and I just don't have time to do that.
I
I
see
think
what
what's
If we
happen
happens.
is
get,
you're going to miss something, and then
yeah,
people are going to be all over you about missing. How come you didn't advocate for this one or that
that's
one?
exactly my point. Yeah, I was going to say
Yeah.
is if you omit something on accident, it seems on purpose because you're not a proponent for it or you're for or against it. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's that perception. And if we post something like that, you'll still and turn off the comments, people can still do the happy, laughing, angry faces. And
You know
it's still
what?
commenting. Yeah.
I can see your point on that totally.
Yeah.
It's just, it
It,
just seems like I wish weren't that way where we have to
Yeah.
be
mhm.
100% perfect. I mean, I don't know.
Do
I
too,
just wish
Sheila. We do
I,
too.
Yeah.
I wish we could just do the democratic thing when we know of something and we can inform the public. And I kind of see that us as a community organization that kind of does that. But maybe on the voting stuff, we just need to put some guidance in we need to put some stuff in our guidance perhaps that says we won't advocate for voting for certain things because we can't be 100% sure we've uh, covered all our bases.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Okay. All right.
Mm.
Well, maybe Gabe, you and I could take a look at the Facebook rules and modify those, or modify the one about being political or whatnot, and could put some language in there. We could noodle on that a little bit.
Yeah, we could try. I just for individual items, I have trouble with it no matter what. It's when you talk about the general voting, okay, yeah, but you're talking about specific measures.
Right.
It's hard
Yeah.
to if you're not 100% posting every single one. It's if you miss that one, like Sandy was
Right.
saying,
Mm,
you know,
mm.
I
oh that's one
completely
they didn't
get that.
support.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
sympathize with you guys because I mod a soccer page, and even sports can get political.
Oh, I
People
believe
get
it.
horrible online, and
It's
yeah,
Shoot.
all of a sudden they're
brutal.
wearing
Keyboard
their
warriors.
party on their sleeves. Yeah,
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Okay, I totally get your side of things too.
I
This
would love
is
to see it happen too. I would love it. I would love if we could. I really
right.
would.
Yeah,
I mean, I
I
wish there was a
appreciate you guys
caveat.
explaining why.
I wish there was a caveat where we could say, we're not going to catch everything. We're just human beings and we're posting stuff, but I see the inequity in it, so I get it.
And we post that, then someone says, "Oh, well, that's convenient."
Right.
You know, if
Exactly.
there's always that jerk online that's going to say that, and then it sets up a firestorm again. You're like, okay, it's frustrating.
Yeah, it is.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. I
Thank
get
you
it.
for explaining, though, you guys.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I just
Yeah.
wanted to provide a little bit more context that we really didn't get into in the conversation, and then I saw Larry leave the meeting, and I was like, oh, he's pissed. So,
Yeah, I felt bad.
And
yeah,
him and his wife are both passionate about
Yeah,
dogs.
very, yeah, and I totally appreciate that. I absolutely, I think it's very valuable to have on the board, and he's been very active, and I appreciate his advocacy, but it's just, yeah, we
the
can't. Anyway,
It's kind of like the new world order, It's just not like it used to be.
yeah, we can talk about this more after. I don't mind keeping this meeting open after. I want to stop the recording though, if that's okay.
Okay, that's fine.
I
Thank you.
move that we adjourn the meeting.
Okay.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I.
Okay.
Okay, motion passes. Meeting is adjourned at 8:33.